No, we do it up in the, we do it in the, yeah. Just say it. That's okay. That's okay. They're there. It's there. It's there. Manahim Sheverachim Gam Yachad Hine Matovu Manahim Sheverachim Gam Yachad. Page 1 of this. Hine Matovu Manahim Sheverachim Gam Yachad Tovu manayim sheverachim gam yachad hine ma tovu manayim sheverachim gam yachad hine ma tovu manayim sheverachim gam yachad. O Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and in thanksgiving I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Ve'asuli mikdash ve'shachanti ve'tocham ve'asuli mikdash ve'shachanti ve'tocham. O Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and in thanksgiving I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Shabbat Shalom. It is so good to see all of you here. And it's so good at the end of a week that might have been perfectly pleasant and easy and fun and nothing difficult, or it might have been had some difficulty. Some weeks have some difficulty, and some weeks are very challenging, and some weeks there's too much to do, and some weeks might feel overwhelming. And that's what Shabbat is for. to just unplug, to connect at the same time. Unplug from devices, unplug from to-do lists, unplug from feeling like you haven't gotten enough done, and connect with people and with God and yourself. That's what we're here for. And let's start our service with the lighting of candles. Ruthie, will you please light for us? Delighted, yes. Yeah, just right there.
And a reading.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yes, the reading.
Here are the readings.
The reading.
That you most know by heart, huh? Oh, okay.
I thought you knew them by heart.
Not yet. Have to come back next week to learn that. Shabbat shalom. Another week of work is ended. Again, Shabbat brings welcome peace. We pause from our labors to let Shabbat give another dimension to our lives. These Shabbat candles are symbols of the holiness we seek. Their brightness dispels gloom and lights a path to faith and hope. Their glow reminds us of the sacred bonds that link us to our people over space and time. Their radiance summons us to fulfill our people's mission, to cast the light of freedom, justice, and peace upon all the world.
Now feel free to take in some of that holy light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you, Ruthie. We continue in the Siddur, the old-fashioned hardcover prayer book, on page 13, with Shalom Aleichem, which talks about angels which are supposed to accompany us on Shabbat, accompany us to temple, accompany us home, give us some protection, some comfort. And wish us Shabbat Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharei, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei HaMlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hoachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei HaMlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei HaMlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zeitchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei HaMlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We continue in the Siddur, the hardcover book, on page 21 with Lecha Dodi. Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela oy lecha dodi oy likrat kala oy penei Shabbat nekabela Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad ishmianu el hamiyuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shem u'tiferet v'litila oy lecha dodi oy likrat kala oy penei Shabbat nekabela likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor haberacha merosh miketem ve'sucha sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila oy lecha dodi oy likrat kala oy penei Shabbat nekabela Hitoreri, hitoreri, kiva orech, umiori, uri, uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai, alayich migla, oy lecha dodi, oy likrat kala, oy penei Shabbat nekabela. Please rise if you're able. Oy v'shalom ateret bala nam b'simcha u'v'tzola toch emunei am segula boi chala oy lecha dodi oy likrat kala oy penei Shabbat nekabela oy lecha dodi oy likrat kala oy penei Shabbat nekabela. You may be seated. We turn in the Siddur to page 23. And sing the last 4 lines of Hebrew on the page, Tzadik Katamar. The righteous are compared to a palm tree that flowers. Tzadik Katamar Yifrach Ke'erez Balvanon Yizgeh Shetulim Beveit Adonai Bechatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu Od Yenuvu B'Seva B'Shenim V'Ra'ananim Yiyu Lehagid Ki Yashar Adonai We turn to page 27 and rise for Chatzi Kaddish. We're able. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah Be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael Bagala Bagala uvizman kariv V'yimeru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei homaya yitbarach yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran me'alma v'yimeru amen. Please remain standing if you're able and move to the Siddur supplement, the booklet, page 5 for Am I Awake? Yada dai dai dai, 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 yada dai dai dai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Yadidai dai dai, 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 yadidai dai dai. You may be seated. Stay in the supplement, and we're going to page 6 to sing a prayer for the coming of evening, the rotation of our time from day to night to day, roll into dark. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll could put down the supplements now and pick up the Siddur. We're finished with the supplements for the service now. You'll need those pieces of paper just at the end of the service. We'll be in the Siddur for a while. We turn to page 29. And we're going to read in English on the side of 29 that has the Hebrew, right under the Hebrew, responsively. Torah is a closed book until it is read with an open heart. Great and small, open your hearts to the words of Torah. Torah is demanding, yet sweeter than honey, more precious than gold. House of Israel, young and old, open yourselves, heart and soul, to its treasures. Torah sanctifies life. It teaches us how to be human and holy. House of Israel, near and far, cherish the eternal sign of God's love. Torah is given each day. Each day we can choose to reject or accept it. House of Israel, now as at Sinai, choose to accept and be blessed by its teachings. We turn the page to page 30 for Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam B'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech u'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha. We turn to page 31, 6 lines from the top of the Hebrew and 3 words in. Leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim le'elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, Emet. We turn to page 32 for Michamocha. We turn now to page 33 for the Hashkivenu prayer, a prayer that was traditionally composed, or originally composed, as a prayer to be said upon retiring for the evening, getting ready to get into bed, because it is a prayer for protection at a time when we are vulnerable. And it is so relevant right now, isn't it? We're going to sing the very end of the prayer, the last two lines of Hebrew, starting with the second word, starting with Baruch. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, shalom aleinu al kol amo Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, shalom aleinu al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim, ve'al kol amo, ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Ve'al Yerushalayim, ve'al kol amo, ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, shalom aleinu al kol amo Yisrael. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. We turn one more page to page 34 for Vishamru. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael Hashabbat, la'asot et Hashabbat lidorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael Hashabbat, la'asot et Hashabbat lidorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam, oti leolam, oti leolam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael Hashabbat, la'asot et Hashabbat lidorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael Hashabbat, la'asot et Hashabbat lidorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i shavar vayinafash, shavar vayinafash, shavar vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael Hashabbat, la'asot et Hashabbat lidorotam berit olam. I invite you to keep your Siddur open to this page 34 and put it on the chair next to you, because we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but I don't want to make you hold the Siddur for all that time. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
It is so good to see you all. It is so good for it to be Shabbat rather than the regular part of the week. Whew. Yes. And it's not only Shabbat today. Today is, that's not what I'm looking for, this. Today is, I printed it out just for proof. It is 2024's Global Day of Unplugging. Global Day of Unplugging. And you could interpret that as you will. They have an interpretation. What they are encouraging people to do, well, let me read you their mission statement. No. For some reason, it printed out landscape. It's confusing me. We are here to answer the U.S. Surgeon General's call to end loneliness. And we're eager to help you up your game with your tech habits. Since 2009, the Global Day of Unplugging has been celebrated annually in March. Whether it's 1 hour or 24 hours, at some point during the first weekend of March, people all over the world will step away from their screens and intentionally shift into an offline activity. This is radical, isn't it? An offline activity. An in-person interaction, it's getting even more radical. A real-life gathering, or simply a meaningful conversation about their relationship with technology. And they have all kinds of events that people have organized to help this happen. They have put out a call for people to create events related to this, to like have a technology-free human interaction. We need a global day of unplugging to do this now. And I'm not mocking them because I do think it's important and I do think what they're doing is good. The Global Day of Unplugging, incidentally, is March 1st through, it's 24 hours, March 1st and 2nd from sundown to sundown. Does that sound suspicious to you? It sounds suspicious to me. It sounds a little bit like, all of a sudden it sounds Jewish. It sounds, it sounds sort of like Shabbat now, doesn't it? Because traditionally, you would not use technology on Shabbat. And not so traditionally, you don't have to be traditional to get benefits of unplugging. You get benefits, I alluded to this in my opening after we lit candles, that there's something about stepping away from to-do lists and screens and feeling like I haven't achieved enough, which is such an endemic feeling. I haven't gotten far enough on my endless to-do list. And tech, for all of the blessings, it has some curses too. Doesn't it? In some ways, it at once makes us feel very connected and very lonely. It's because it often takes place of in-person interactions. We text instead of making a phone call. We Zoom instead of having a meeting in person. We email instead of writing a letter, even though that's not in person. It's more personal. And so I think what they're doing, there's something to it. And there's something in this week's Torah portion that relates to this as well. So the reason I had you leave your Siddur open to Vishamru is because Vishamru is a quotation from this week's Torah portion. It's the Torah portion is called Ki Tisa, and it has all kinds of more dramatically compelling things than Vishamru. There's the golden calf, but we're not going to talk about that. There is Moses talking to God after the golden calf, convincing God not to abandon the Jewish people and find some other people. We're not going to talk about that. There's Moses begging God to show him God's face, and God sort of saying, well, you can't really see my face, but I'll show you the back of my head. And there's that whole interaction of God revealing God's self as much as God felt safe to do, safe for Moses to do. So this Torah portion is packed, but I wanted to focus on this Vishamru because we say this every Friday night and Shabbat morning that we are in temple or praying Jewishly. It's such an important piece of our liturgy about Shabbat, and it relates to this global day of unplugging, this Shabbat. And there's something interesting in here that I wanted to point out that, so if we look at the translation, okay, the people of Israel shall observe Shabbat to maintain it as an everlasting covenant through all generations. Good. It is a sign between me and the people of Israel for all time that in 6 days Adonai made the heavens and the earth. And on the seventh day, God ceased from work and rested. That's what I want to talk about, those last couple of words. That is very interesting to me. In Hebrew, it's Uvayom HaShvi'i, and on the seventh day, Shavat, related to Shabbat, which means ceasing activity. Vayinafash, and rested, perhaps. It's a word that could be translated a few ways. But it's interesting to me that those two things are paired, and those two things are seen by the author of this passage of the Torah, whether it's God or some human being, channeling, whatever your belief is about how Torah is written, it was written carefully. And so there's something about ceasing work and resting that are related but not the same. Like if I think about it, like I could just stop working and I'm not necessarily refreshed by that. I could stop doing my to-do list, but like if I'm doom scrolling on my phone, I might be more tired and frazzled. If I stop working and instead of doom scrolling on my phone or some other non-restful activity that's not work, if I do something that's rejuvenating, that's refreshing, like having a good conversation with someone, having a nice meal with someone, connecting with community, meditating, listening to some good music. Like these things are refreshing and rejuvenating. These things feed my soul. And that you might have different things that feed your soul. But I think there's a distinction to be made here that so we could stop our to-do list, but there's also actively doing something that's refreshing and rejuvenating. And of course, you could ask, as the rabbis did, like, why did God need to do this? Why did God need to stop working? Why did God need to refresh God's self? Isn't God limitless energy? And the answer that the rabbis give was, God was doing it for us so that we would have a role model to follow God's example here. That one of our great pieces of wisdom as Jews is once a week, stop, take a breath, forget about your to-do list, and do something rejuvenating. So that's what I wish for all of us to do. I know I need it. Maybe you need it too. Shabbat shalom. Okay, let's continue our service now on page 35B. The Amidah, we rise for this. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi ki tehilatecha. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi ki tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot, Umevi Goel Livnei V'nehem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer, Foked, Umoshia, Umagen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ufoked Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei metim atarav le'oshia, Mashiv haruach umarid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayei metim berachamim rabim, Zomech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afar, micha mocha ba'al gevurot, umido melach, melech memit umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'emanat al hachayot metim. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayei hametim. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Please continue privately with either the prayers of your own heart and mind, or you could use the words of the Siddur through page 38. We continue on page 38. That middle paragraph, like 4 lines from the bottom of the paragraph, starting with the last 2 words of the line. It's now the time in our service to direct our thoughts to those who need our prayers of healing. Now that might be ourselves, or it might be other people, or both. In the TCS community, we're thinking of Phyllis Burke, the wife of Norm Burke, Neil Bornstein, father of Aaron Bornstein, Arthur Campbell, friend of Craig Barger, Phyllis Dillon, aunt of Alyssa Cohen, Jane Dunlap, Valerie Frank, friend of Craig Barger, Jennifer Galvin, daughter of Karen Galvin and Michelle Clapp, David Glazer, son of Amy Glazer. Michael Gottfried, son-in-law of Susan Polikoff. Carolyn Halunin, friend of Lily Kranzman. Mike Kamens. Helen Lowney, aunt of Rhonda Jelinik's brother-in-law. Cheryl Leahy, sister of Mike Cohen. Nancy Mayer, sister-in-law of Joni Mayer. Linda Morgan, friend of Karen Swartz. Paul Newfield, uncle of Sandy Newfield. Sarah Newfield, aunt of Sandy Newfield. Saul Payne, Kimberly Phillips, niece of Susan Polikoff. Gail Rosenberg, cousin of Mike Cohen. Alicia Schreiber, of Mary and Paul Schreiber. Michael Schreiber, son of Mary and Paul Schreiber. Cindy Sherman, daughter of Judy Romaine. Yonina bat David HaKohen Visara. Esther bat Chaim Vagoldi, Fega bat Shlomo Nisan Halevi, mother of Jennifer Jarofsky. Gittel bat David, Rela bat Moshe Haskell Ufega Leah. If you would like to add a name that was not said, please do, and I'm looking in your direction. Let's direct our prayers with a Misha Barak song. It's on the inside back cover of the Siddur. Misha Barak avoteinu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Yisheberach imotenu v'kor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Now, at last, it is time to pick up one of the individual sheets. The one with the prayer for the state of Israel at the top, which we are about to read together. Please join me. Sovereign of the universe, accept in loving kindness and with favor our prayers for the state of Israel, her government, and all who dwell within her boundaries and under her authority. Open our eyes and our hearts to the wonder of Israel, and strengthen our faith in your power to work redemption in every human soul. Grant us also the fortitude to keep ever before us those ideals upon which the state of Israel was founded. Grant courage, wisdom, and strength to those entrusted with guiding Israel's destiny to do your will. Be with those on whose shoulders Israel's safety depends, and defend them from all harm. Spread over Israel and all the world your shelter of peace, and may the vision of your prophets soon be fulfilled. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. And now we sing Achenu, our siblings, which is a prayer for captives, a traditional prayer for captives in Jewish tradition. Achenu, kol Beit Yisrael. Achenu, kol Beit Yisrael. Anetunim betzara, betzara uvashivya, haomnim bein bayam uvein bayabasha. Hamakom yirachem, yirachem aleihem v'yotziei mitzara. Lirvacha umeafel al ora, umishibud li geula hashta bagala uvizman karim. Hamakom yirachem, yirachem aleihem v'yotziei mitzara. Lirvacha umeafel al ora, umishibud li geula hashta bagala uvizman karim. We start to conclude our service now with Aleinu on page 51 of the Siddur. Please rise if you are able. Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula le'yotzer breshit, shelo asanu kagoye ha'aratzot, velo samanu kamishbechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, shehu noteh shamayim v'yosed haaretz, umoshav yekaro b'shamayim imal, ushchinatu zo, begovei meromim, Hu Eloheinu Einod, Emet Malkeinu Efes Ulato, Kakatu B'Torato, V'yadata Hayom V'hashivota Elevavecha, Ki Adonai Hua Elohim, B'shamayim imal, V'yoharetz, mitachat, einod, v'nemar, v'haya Adonai, l'melech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, Ushemo echad. You may be seated. We now recall the loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. Our congregational family remembers with special affection our loved ones whose yahrzeit will occur this coming week. Benjamin Clayman, father of Maxine Bloom. Lawrence Thomas, father of Dwayne Thomas. Louis Goldberg, father of Cindy Schnitzer. If you are remembering someone this evening, we invite you to say that person's name aloud now. Zichronam livracha. May the memory of all our dear ones be a blessing. If you are saying Kaddish in someone's memory tonight, we ask you to rise now. In loving support of the mourners, we rise as a congregation. In gratitude to God for the gift of the lives of their loved ones, those who are in mourning and those remembering someone say Kaddish on page 52 of the Siddur. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'alam ulamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal, Shemei de Kudsha Barichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, u'ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. You may be seated. I'd like to now invite up David Blashenberg to give our congregational announcements and greeting from the Board of Directors.
Good evening and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Announcements for this evening. There is no Torah study tomorrow morning, and Havdalah services tomorrow will be at 6 p.m. online. This Wednesday at 11:30 a.m., followed by lunch, there's lunch and learn, Israel and Hamas unpacking the conflict beyond the headlines, last chance to RSVP. An important reminder, Family Table needs our help every month. 30 cans of tuna and 30 cans of vegetarian soup. If you'd like to donate money to Family Table monthly instead of bringing food, there is a link in your weekly email. Not on here, but as my special project, there is an art auction coming up on May 11th. We'll be doing, it's the Mother's Day weekend, so it's a great way to celebrate with Mom. We're going to have fine art, jewelry, handcrafted bags, travel, all sorts of things available for auction, so keep your eye out for it. Please remember, information and links to all activities are included in your weekly emails on Mondays, as well as special notices. You can call the PCS office if you have any questions.
Thank you, David. I'd like to just amend one thing. This is my sort of joke, but not a joke. That there actually is Torah study tomorrow, just not here with the rabbi. Just take your own chumash, grab a friend, and study some Torah. There's a lot of great things in this week's Torah portion. As I mentioned that we did not talk about tonight, you could read about the golden calf. You could discuss what it means that Moses had a face-to-face relationship with God. What does that mean? Something to think about, talk about, read about, study tomorrow. This is the do-it-yourself Torah study. Without the rabbi, don't get your own bagels, get your own chumash, and study some Torah. We conclude on the one remaining piece of paper that you took that we haven't used yet. It says, Ein Keloheinu, non como nuestro Dio. This is from the Sephardic Ladino tradition. Rak Eloheinu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemakenu, Ein Kemoshienu, non como nuestro Dios, non como nuestro Señor, non como nuestro Rey, non como nuestro Salvador. Mich Eloheinu, Mich Adonenu, Mich Malkeinu, Mich Moshienu, quien como nuestro Dios, quien como nuestro Señor, quien como nuestro Rey, quien como nuestro Salvador. No del Eloheinu, no del Adonenu, no del Malkeinu, no del Moshienu, lo oremos a nuestro Dios, lo oremos a nuestro Señor, lo oremos a nuestro Rey, lo oremos a nuestro Salvador. Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, bendito nuestro Dios, bendito nuestro Señor, bendito nuestro Rey, bendito nuestro Salvador. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu, tú sos nuestro Dios, tú sos nuestro Señor, tú sos nuestro Rey, tú sos nuestro Salvador. Shabbat Shalom. Please join me in the foyer as soon as you're able to get there, because we have Oni tonight. We have to get through Kiddush and Motzi.